Hi everyone, I'm here today to tell you my birth story. So it's so much different to Roman's birth story, unbelievably different. If you want to watch Roman's birth story or labour and delivery vlog, I will link that in the description box below and you can have a look at that. And it is a completely different story because in Roman's birth I had high blood pressure, I was induced again this time, but I had an epidural from 3 centimeters. I wasn't really allowed a bath and I was just stuck on the bed the whole time. I'll actually link his birth videos below too if you would like to watch those, just to see the complete and utter difference between Roman and Mila's births. So this time round things were just incredible. It was intense. It was the hardest thing I have ever done in my entire life. It hurt, I'm not gonna lie, it hurt, but it was also an incredible experience, one that I will look back on and cherish for a very long time. The Thursday, 22nd of May, I have my obstetrician appointment, +2 protein and urine, blood pressure is 147 over 96, even on an increased dose of labetalol. So we sit there for hours, as you do at the OB, and the obstetrician basically says, I think we need to induce within the next 48 hours. And me and Martin are just sitting there going, oh my gosh, this is it, you know, we're having our baby in the next 2 days, this is crazy. So my induction on the Thursday is scheduled for Saturday morning. Come to Friday the 23rd of May, which we are led to believe is our last day with just a family of 3. Roman's just having a moan in the background because he hurt his hand. We basically spend the day cleaning the house, thinking about the fact that, wow, we are going to be a family of 4 tomorrow, which is crazy. Martin's brother ends up coming over and he says that he's available to watch Roman over the weekend, which is fantastic. I pack the rest of my bags, make sure everything is absolutely organised, and then that night I get a whole bunch of packages in the mail from you guys and I open them all up and we are just so excited with all these buntings and gifts for Roman and gifts for Mila, and I just start to get all emotional and think, holy crap, this pregnancy journey is just about over. So that night Martin and I filmed my very last pregnancy diary, which is pregnancy diary 38 weeks pregnant. It feels like the end of an era when I finished that pregnancy diary. I kind of felt like I just wanted to keep talking because I didn't want it to be the last one, if you know what I mean. I just thought to myself, oh my goodness, this is it. This is the last pregnancy diary ever because we're not having any more children, or so I think. Martin wants a 3rd. I kind of want a 3rd, but that's another story. Anyway, so I get absolutely no sleep whatsoever that night, as you can expect, you know, jittery, knowing that you're going to have a baby the next day. It's very nerve-wracking. So at 6:30 a.m. on Saturday the 24th of May, I can't stay in bed any longer. I'm just so nervous. I've got butterflies in my stomach. So I get up with Roman and we have some breakfast, and then I get the call from my midwife at 7 a.m. and she says that labour and delivery is full to the max, like woman labouring in the hallways. So I was absolutely gutted. It's like all that anxiousness of the last 2 days and then overnight and then realising that it's not going to happen that day is just, you just feel a little bit defeated, I guess, a little bit, you know, there's so much emotions over those last couple of days and then it's just like, oh, you're not having a baby today. And then you realise you've got to feel all that emotion and jitteriness again for another day. My midwife did say that they did want to check me that day still, check my blood pressure and reschedule the induction for the Monday. My midwife and I weren't too happy with that because the obstetrician had said this baby needs to come out within 48 hours, and that Saturday was within that 48 hours. Monday was not. That was another 48 hours away. But that's just how full the labour and delivery ward was. Basically, I met my midwife up at labour and delivery at 3:30 that same day. We do some bloods. and I think I do pee on one of those little stick things and then get a CTG or whatever it is to check Mila's heart rate and all that, and contractions, which obviously I was not having. And my midwife then talks to the consultant about what we can do, and the consultant seems to think that maybe the next day, yes darling, the next day, which is the Sunday, they might be able to start inducing me that morning. Martin says to them, well, we're here, why don't we just start the induction now? And I was just like, oh, haha, you know, whatever. And then my midwife's like, would you do that? And I was like, oh my goodness, are you for real? And so she calls the consult back and the consultant back, and the consultant says, yeah, sure, why not? Let's do it tonight. And I was just like, holy crap, lucky I brought my hospital bags with me in the car. So my induction, instead of starting Saturday morning, actually started Saturday night. So my midwife does a stretch and sweep and finds that I'm already 2 centimeters dilated, which can happen when it's your second subsequent baby. Sometimes your cervix just never closes back up completely. So I was already 2 centimeters. She does a stretch and sweep, and then at 8 o'clock that night she gives me the first gel. So usually they try and do the gels first before putting an IV line and putting in the Pitocin or Syntocin, whatever it's called. So then I'm officially admitted and I'm spending the night in hospital to have my baby the next day. So that night I start getting contractions, so I whip out my contraction timer on my phone, and they're lasting about a minute and every 2 to 4 minutes apart. So I think it's kind of cool that I got to use my contraction timer thing, because being induced I didn't think I was gonna need to use it, you know, with spontaneous labor. So it was really cool that I got to use that. We kind of walked the corridors that night. Things were getting a bit more painful. Some of the contractions I had to breathe through, and then very early that morning I just woke up and realized that they had stopped, or I had slept through them. Then we come to Sunday the 25th of May, the big day. I'm just going to read off my notes so this doesn't take too long. So at 6:30 a.m. Stacey and Brennan arrive. They are my birthing team, I guess you could say. Stacey is there for support and Brendan is there for support and to basically video and take photos for me, and I am so unbelievably glad he was there. He took the most amazing footage and the most amazing photos, so I'm just so glad he was there and that he was just totally onto it. So by that time the contractions had definitely slowed and then completely stopped. At 7:30 a.m. my midwife arrives, and overnight those little niggles had put me up to 4 centimeters dilated, which was great. So all that little niggly pain was not for nothing, because you know I wasn't even in active labor at that point. It's just that annoying niggly contraction. So at 7:30 a.m. my midwife breaks my waters. Wow, it feels like so much fluid comes out when they break your waters, but apparently it's not that much. Apparently it's like a cup, but it just feels like this huge gush of warm water coming out between your legs. It's incredible, it's crazy. And I go to the toilet, and I'm holding like a sheet between my legs as I'm walking to the toilet, because obviously lots of water is still gushing out. And when I put the sheet down, I can see my mucus plug. Wow, there is a lot of mucus plug. Like, I didn't realize, because obviously I never saw it with Roman's pregnancy and labor and birth, but the mucus plug was just, it's this long, gooey, snotty looking gunky stuff basically, and if that's too TMI for you, probably shouldn't be listening to a labour and delivery story, but that's what it looked like. There was tiny streaks of blood in it, but it was mostly just kind of a clear jello-y looking thing, and it basically plugs your cervix and stops infection getting up and all that jazz. So that was quite cool actually, seeing that. And between 7:30 a.m. and 8 a.m. I go into active labour. This labour just went so unbelievably quick, it was crazy. Contractions at 8 are mild, but they are regular. And then all of a sudden they start to get stronger, and I have to concentrate and start breathing through them. And at that point I get on the big medicine ball and just start rocking my hips. Can I just say, rocking your hips, it just feels so much better. It helps with the pain a little bit. And from then onwards things just got more and more intense, and it got crazy. At 9 a.m. the contractions get stronger, but also from 9 o'clock time is kind of a blur to me. I don't recall going from the medicine ball to the bed at all. I just don't have a clue how I got there, but I was on the bed. Contractions start getting so strong that I can't handle them anymore, and I start shaking, and I keep saying to my midwife, I can't stop shaking, and she just keeps saying to me, it's because your body's just working really hard and just going through labour really fast. Yeah, it was just this uncontrollable shaking that I just couldn't stop. And at some point I'm checked and I am 6 centimeters dilated. I remember saying, only 6, I've got so long to go, but within an hour Mila was born after being checked and being 6 centimeters. At this point I'm begging for an epidural. I'm saying to him, I need an epidural, I need pain relief, please, please. And he's just saying, you can do this, you can do this, you know, your birth plan is that you didn't want an epidural, we can do this, just gonna breathe through it. And I'm just like, I can't do this. So part of my birth plan was to labour in water, so the bath is run, and I get in the bath and I also have gas, and all of a sudden I just calm down completely, and I can just, the contractions are still there, they are still painful, but the water and the gas just help me to relax a bit and just kind of get through them. The gas some people don't like. For me, I felt like I was completely high. Unfortunately, the gas does not take away pain. It just kind of, for me, it was like a distraction. Just holding that tube and just breathing in and out, just kept me breathing continuously. It kept me focused and was like a distraction. At some point while I'm in the bath, the contractions are so intense, but they are also making me bear down. If every contraction, I just felt like I needed to push down, and it was uncontrollable. I wasn't doing it myself. My body was just doing it. It was just pushing down. And I was saying to my midwife that I was bearing down, pretty much just letting you know that I think the baby is coming. So I have a few more contractions in the bath, and my midwife says to me that I need to hop out of the bath to birth Mila, just because obviously her birth weight may have been low. If we needed to go to the NICU or anything happened, she just really needed me out of the bath, and I really did not want to get out of the bath. They had to get Martin and Brendan to haul me out of the bath and onto the bed. My midwife was also trying to find Mila's heartbeat, check Mila's heartbeat while I was in the bath with the Doppler, and she wasn't really able to get anything. Just from watching the footage, I don't remember this bit at all, and that was also another reason why she wanted me out of the bath, and they needed to try and get a proper reading of her heart rate. So when I'm back up on the bed, I'm on my hands and knees with the head of the bed raised, and I'm leaning on it like this. And for me, it was just a comfortable position. I had the gas in my hand, breathing that, and also bearing down at the same time. Like with every contraction, I felt my body move my body backwards and down, like I was really ready to push her out. I just felt such intense pressure to get her out. Mila's heart rate starts dropping and also completely going off the CTG monitor thing. If you look in the footage down here in the background, you can see that it's going down to 60 beats per minute, and then nothing, and then up to 70, and then nothing. And so her heart rate's getting a bit funny, and I think my midwife is starting to worry at this point, because another midwife is called in, and they're desperately trying to find Mila's heart rate or get a good reading of it. Martin is starting to look a bit worried from what I see in the footage. At one point I ask if she's okay. I don't remember what the response was at all. And you can also see in the background of the footage the other midwife starting to unwrap one of the monitors that sticks in the top of baby's head to get an accurate heart rate reading, I guess you could say. I don't know much about it, but so you can see the midwife starting to unwrap the packet, and they're just, you know, I'm turned over by this point, and they're moving things around trying to find her heart rate. I think Martin's looking pretty worried. I'm probably worried, but I'm too high on the gas to even really think about it too much. And before they even get the little hook onto her head, my midwife's like, okay, push, because she was just coming. At that point, the urge to push was just so strong. I think she just shot out because I was just pushing so hard. But I think I was also so high on the gas because at some point my midwife is just like, Nicole, you need to stop sucking on the gas now and birth your baby. I don't recall feeling the ring of fire. I may have, from the sounds I was making and saying ow, I may have felt the ring of fire, but I can't actually recall feeling it at all, which I guess is kind of wonderful. Eventually he comes out, and then the rest of her comes out, and she is born at 12:45 p.m. on the 25th of May. And that was after 4 hours and 45 minutes of labour, compared to Roman's 12 hours of labour. And just 4 minutes of pushing. So she came out really fast. At that point she is placed straight onto my chest, and I just think, oh my gosh, it's over, and she's okay. She cries straight away when she comes out, which is wonderful. I end up having a 2nd degree tear, and that's because of birthing Roman. I got a 3rd degree tear, and just where I was stitched, the scar tissue doesn't stretch, and so I just split again along the same line, but it was only a 2nd degree tear. My midwife just stitched me up right then and there, instead of me having to go to theatre and being in theatre for 2 hours and just being packed and blood everywhere, and it was an awful experience. So this time round it was just a 2nd degree tear, and the healing process has been wonderful, and I haven't had a problem. Mila is weighed, and she weighs 6 pounds 14 ounces. She's given her vitamin K injection, and then she's put straight back onto my chest, and I give her her first breastfeed. After just having some bonding with her and getting her dressed into her little outfits that I had chosen out, she has some cuddle time with Daddy, and I go and have a shower and just spend the rest of the evening when I'm up in the postnatal ward just pondering, thinking, wow, I did that. I actually did that. That is incredible. But you know what, I could not have done it without the support of my husband, the support of Stacey, and honestly my midwives, because I had my training midwife Leah there as well. I could not have done it without my birthing team. And Brendan was there, and he was really respectful and just was out of the way and just filmed everything from a distance, and just, he was wonderful. But my midwives, I just love them to bits. Without my midwife, I probably couldn't have gone through it, and the support of Martin and Stacey as well. It was just, the whole experience was just incredible. I could not have asked for a more perfect, other than Mila's whole heart rate thing happening, a more perfect birth. It's the complete opposite of Roman's birth, and if I had to choose again, I would definitely choose Mila's birth. It was just really touching. It was really special, and I will never forget her birth, and it will just be etched in my memory forever as being something really powerful. And you know, I did that, and it feels great to have done that. And if we have another baby, for sure, we're getting straight in that water, and we're getting straight to that gas and water. I can get through labour with gas and water. No epidural necessary. So that is my labour and delivery story, guys. The footage of the actual birth, you've seen a little bit here, but the footage of the actual birth will be up very soon when I get through all of the footage, because there is so much. And yeah, and you'll just see what the experience was like for me. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed Mila's journey from pregnancy test to birth. It has been a crazy experience. It has been amazing and exciting. If you're a new subscriber of mine, make sure you go back and check out Mila's pregnancy test video, all the IVF videos, check out her gender reveal, our little party that we had where I cut open the cake and saw that we were having a little girl, and just every week of pregnancy, which I am going to miss so dearly. I cannot wait to be pregnant again if we end up having another baby, which I'm not sure. We'll have to talk about that in a separate vlog, I think, because that's a whole nother story. But thanks guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, to watch the rest of our journey with our sweet baby girl Mila, born 25th of May 2014, 6 pounds 14 ounces, the sweetest little thing ever. We just love her to bits. And if you've got time, make sure you check out all of Roman's videos in the the description box below. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next vlog. Bye!